Okay guys, welcome. This is our getting started Scratch video tutorial. It'll be up to date with the current Scratch program so that the buttons will be identical to what you're seeing today when you've created your account. You've already watched the video on how to create an account, so this is where it brought you to your home page. If you have old files, you can come here to your profile and click on My Stuff, and there you will see old Scratch files that you've created, or it might be blank if you haven't created anything. That's what I just did with mine. But otherwise, if you click Create, it will start a new project, and it opens it up to the coding page that you need for the assignment. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the code screen in the center. Here's all our codes. You notice that you got 3 different tabs because you have costumes and sounds, both all available to you. And then over here on the right is the actual playing screen, as well as the sprite details. The sprite is referring to the cat or any other object that you might have in there, and you can add additional sprites right here. Okay, so with the cat, or Scratchy as they call him, you can change his size. I might make him 50% the size, and you can see he's a little smaller Scratch. Okay, another troubleshooting problem that I had was I couldn't find the backdrop at first. Your computer may not do it, but mine did, and so I noticed the slide bar slides over, and there's the stage. So I'm going to add a stage here, and I'm going to do a baseball field, just because that's going to be fun. So the original assignment, by the way, was to draw a house, and you can put it on a location where you want them to be. Still do that or do this. Either one, it's going to be the same coding ideas, and you can customize it to how you like. I'm just doing it this way because it'll add some entertainment value, hopefully, to some of you. Okay? So I'm going to move my... Oh, and by the way, I was going to say on those backdrops, you can choose your own. So if you had a photo on your computer of say, your town, your backdrop could be the town of Junction, Utah, or maybe it would be a picture of your yard or something like that. If any of you want to play around and do some cool stuff like that, you don't have to use their library, but you can. So you can upload your own backdrop. Otherwise, you can choose it from their library here. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. All right, let's start with Scratchy, and let's put him on home base. I want this to be where he starts. So we're going to take a little tour over here of the left side for the coding. You can see that he has all these different color-coded buttons. When I push them, it brings you to the codes that are related to those. Events, sounds, looks, motion, which is what we're going to be primarily dealing with today. That and controls and events, because we want things to happen when we do certain things. Later on in other games, you'll use some of those. Not going to spend a lot of time going through them because we'll deal with them as we get them. Okay, so in motion, the first thing I want him to do is go to the position that he's at right now. So when I move Scratchy around, so if I set him over here on first, you'll notice that the XY coordinates automatically populate in here. Now you can manually type those in as well after you drag the block over. So that's just kind of a convenient thing for Scratch. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him to go to home plate. So that's where he is right now. So the numbers are already there. I'm going to bring it out and set it down. The next thing that I wanted to point out is that he can glide to a place. If I have him go to 2 different spots, let's say, for example, I'll just do it really quick. I'll take him right here to first base. I'm going to tell him to go to first base. If I go right here and then I tell him to go to first, you can see that he just kind of snaps over there. which doesn't really look like a runner. I wish we could run like that, but we can't. So the other thing that we can do is we can glide to a place. So I'm going to say glide to that number. So when I click on it now, you can see that he goes to that position and then he glides to first base. Now if I want him to wait for a second, I click on the control tab, which is just a little bit, it's just down from the motion on the scrolling screen. And the very top control option is a wait. So if I want him to wait there, I can tell him to wait for however long I want. We'll keep it 1 second for now. And then I might want him to glide or run, you might say, to second base. So I'm going to tell him to glide to second base. Kind of cool. So if we click that again now, he stops for 1 second and then he steals to second base. Okay, we'll do it again for third. This time he's going to get a double, I guess, maybe, and steal two, so I won't have a time in between. You have him glide to there, and then I'm going to have him glide to home. Okay, so I'll glide right there. Okay, one thing that I have noticed is you can right click on here to duplicate something. So if I wanted that position to go here, it duplicates the numbers, whereas before we just drug a new one out. And so that you can duplicate the whole thing as well. So I can have that block on there twice instead of just an individual block. To get rid of blocks, you just drag and drop them right there. Okay, so you'll notice that he does it when I click on it. Okay. I don't want him to do it when I click on it. I want him to do it when I click the green flag. So if I come here to events, it's an event when I click on that green flag. That is the event. I clicked on a green flag. So when I click the green flag, then you're going to do it. Okay, so if I click this green flag now, he runs the bases. And got it. Score. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how to draw with the pen. It's not by default on the scroll, but on the bottom left corner there's this blue square, which are extensions that you can bring in, and there's your pen extension. You can take a minute and look at your other things that you can add in here. Kind of fun, playing music, whatnot. But for now we're just going to click on the pen, and now you'll notice that the pen is now at the bottom of our list of code blocks. So before he does this, I want him to set the pen down so that when he draws, so now I'm going to click on that, or when he goes, you can see he runs the bases and it actually draws his path. You can also change the color. So maybe I don't like blue, so I'm going to change it to, let's maybe go for a Paiute blue so the Paiute wins here. You can see you can kind of slide the spectrums. A little bit more of a blue. Come up here. Who knows what our actual color codes are? These codes are pre-established somewhere, but anyway, might be interesting for some of you to note. Spending a lot of time. But we'll go with that. That's close enough. So now when he does it, he draws over the top of it and it's changing the color. Okay, when he's finished, I want him to erase it. And not only that, but I want him to keep running around. So for that, we're going to the control. So instead of just doing it once, we're going to have him do it forever. So if I put a forever block in there, and I put that whole set of code inside the forever block, when I click it, he's just going to keep running around the bases whether I click anything or not. Okay, so we might move our weight to the bottom so that it feels like it's a home run each time. Okay, the other thing that you can do is you'll notice on the pen that there's you can change the pen size. Maybe I want it to be a little bit bigger line, so let's go with a 5. See what happens. You can see the pen is drawing a lot heavier now. Got a home run. Okay, it kind of looks weird that he's drawing over his own line again and again, and the line seems to be getting fatter and fatter. So let's tell him to erase it. So let's erase all after he waits for 1 second. Ooh, look at that big old pen right there, huh? Okay, so now we're going to change the pen size back to 1. Oh, that's why. We're going to do all of this before. So what's happening is it's getting. So now we're going to change our. Tell them stop. Pen size doesn't seem to be changing, so I'm getting confused by that. Don't know why it would do that. Other than maybe it's in the, okay, if I stop and then I start, no. So maybe if I put the, change pen size by 0.1, that's what I did. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. Change set pen size to that, and then we can go. It should now erase that one, and then it'll do it. Okay. All right. So that's how we get him to run the bases. You got to do the go-to. You got to do the glide. This does everything that the house project does, so I would take this in place of it. But otherwise, in the getting started, it has you submit drawing a house and then picking a backdrop as to where that house is on the planet, wherever you put it. I think there's beach options and a hayfield option and things like that, so you can put the house wherever you want. At the end, what you do is you will need to click on Save Now. Right now it saved it as untitled, so maybe I'll replace that with Getting Started. And now it's created the name. If I go here to File, Save to my computer, you're going to save it to your computer. Typically I put it on the desktop, and I might put my name on it, Dan Getting Started, and save right here. Okay, once you've done that, from there you'll need to upload it into Canvas. You can email it to me, but I prefer for it to come to me in Canvas because it helps me to track what I've gotten and what I haven't better. So I'm going to click on my Canvas option as soon as the spinning wheel of death is done, and I'm going to come here to my dashboard, go to our Exploring Technology class, and go to our modules, and we're going to go to our Scratch Getting Started assignment. And I was hoping to, maybe I need to do this. Anyway, I won't be able to show you because I don't have your actual view because it shows my view, but you guys will need to click on the assignment, and when at the bottom of the assignment it says that you can submit, and so you click that and upload that to the Canvas. Okay, have fun. I'll make a video for the next one. Keep your eye on Canvas and keep an eye on your email, and stay healthy. Talk to you later.